Hello and welcome to another episode of Akiba's trip, Undead and Undressed. Last time, we managed to stop Zenyamo for the fourth and definitely final time from harvesting energies for himself from the synthesizers or for some other purpose we're not entirely made clear upon. Now we've gone to the shrine to do a little bit of a strategic meeting because we need to stop Soga's giant Dark Utopia machine from sucking the energy out of everyone in Akiba and basically like killing and incapacitating people. So Shion's got a plan, and naturally she has a plan that involves us not dying from the blood fight going inside our bodies right now, because let me tell you, we're dying. And I do like that Grave Danger is my poor name choice. I'm also glad that that's the right choice there, but I was gonna pick it either way. So yes, our plan is to steal the machine. Now naturally that doesn't sound like a good idea. Maybe we should just destroy it, because it's not a good thing. So basically the idea is Shion's gonna save us with that machine, because it's being powered on the stolen life energy that synthesizers have already been taking from people in Akiba, and she's gonna reroute it and hit us with it so that it purifies our blood, essentially causing this big internal conflict between our synthesizer and Night Eater blood to kind of dissipate. And it seems to be the only way to, you know, cure me without me dying, so naturally we have to do it, because either way it's not going to end very well for me if we don't do something. So Shion knows that it's probably not a great idea, but we should try it, because I probably am not going to make it otherwise. So of course, we're going to trust her, because naturally we're going to. Come on. We gotta trust her. I mean, we ourselves could not have come up with a better plan, so naturally, might as well do the most ridiculous thing that we can. So Shion's gonna give us a really hefty request, if I survive. Very hefty. Very hefty. And it's a big one. She wants us to call her by her first name. Oh yes. First name basis. That's some good stuff. That is the kind of romantic progression I wanted. So naturally, if we survive, a great loving relationship is going to ensue, but that's if we survive. So naturally, we gotta get out of here and live. So we have to go through this crazy energy rerouting plan. So naturally, that involves us going back and stealing the machine, which is going to result in obvious fighting, because, well, Soga's not exactly going to sit down and just let us take his machine. Now, interestingly enough, this is a very interesting progression in which this route wants to go. In every other route, it ends with the same last mission, which is what happens is Soga turns on the machine before we can get to the Radio Kaikon building. Everyone's fainting except for me, and I have to run all the way there, and with my friends, of course, you know, whoever you're with, I think, goes with you. Unless it's someone who can't survive the energy sucking, which I believe is only Shizuku and Rin. But you go there, and then you finally learn about the machine, and you beat up Soga, and then you destroy it. And that's basically how it ends. In every other route, except for this one. In this one, since we've been there this entire time, we gotta go take the machine. And we already know where it is. So there's no big fight to the Radio Kaikon building, because, well, he hasn't even activated it yet, so but we are gonna go back and steal it. So we're here, and Soga's just there, so yeah, we're gonna have to just kind of drop this bomb. Shion's not gonna even go on the side of subtlety here. We're just gonna bluntly state our purpose. Soga doesn't seem very happy about that. Seems a little perturbed. He's just a little kind of like, seriously? Come to take my machine? It's kind of annoying. Yes. So he wasn't expecting us to be 100% on the ball, but he was expecting us to at least somewhat be complacent, and we weren't really complacent at all, so naturally we're going to come back and just destroy this whole thing. So Soga's philosophy and mindset is kind of giving him the idea that we're doing something stupid here, and we're gonna sacrifice our futures, which we're not really gonna do. I mean, Soga doesn't realize that I've got a really powerful microphone. So ultimately, he realizes that we're taking the machine to save me, and we're also taking the machine to save everyone else because we don't want him to turn it on. And now we're gonna kind of learn about the real. I mean, we already know he's doing it for the Night Eater village, but we're gonna talk about his other real motivation here. And it's the philosophy about Akihabara and materialism and things like greed and things like sin. All really high-minded things, really important to this game. So yeah, the Night Eaters are basically higher beings, respecting nature, part of the earth, descended from the gods, and as this is kind of a weird man versus nature type deal kind of thrown in there all of a sudden. And yes, greed. He's powering his machine with this, not greed, but this pure greed, which is a little weird. Naturally, he's going to talk about how advancement is bad, urban development is bad, destroying the rainforests are bad, nature is good. I mean, you know. But Akihabara has pure lust, as he's going to state. It's pure lust energy, where it's not like lewd lust, it's like worship lust. And therefore it's pure energy for him to harness and fund his giant, weird, hexagonal machine here. It's big, and with like 6 monitors and all sorts of fun stuff, and you know, science. And, you know, it's great, you know. I'm glad he came to Akihabara to get that pure lust, that pure piety, pure reverence, to fund the energy cost of his giant hunking machine. Which, you wonder, like, what happened to the people who were actually building the Radio Kaikon building? Did they just be like, yeah, we should get out of here? Or did they get recruited into this whole deal? I guess we'll never know. Or maybe the whole construction thing was a ruse to begin with. Who knows? The game is not going to answer that question for us, so who knows? He really likes the words dark utopia. It's like he has to throw the dark in to be like, it's not just a utopia, it's a dark utopia. It's completely different. Absolutely, fundamentally different on all levels of just a normal utopia. This one's dark. Of course, I'm going to profess my love and my devotion as my final resolve for survival. So naturally, Soga's going to kind of guilt trip us a little bit. He's going to be like, yeah, if you stop this, you're going to basically cause the Night Eaters to die out. And of course, you know, our resolves are going to clash together. But first, he's going to kind of do this, which of course really was not smart of us not to think about this, but it was kind of a necessary evil. So of course the rosary on our wrist, which is keeping our Night Eater side in check, is now overloading our Night Eater side entirely, which of course is causing us to be, well, encapped really. We're not going to be able to move because as long as he's reverse engineering it while it's attached to me, it's going to overload my blood and basically just, you know, combat both sides of my being right now. I can't move because both sides of me are fighting this horrible battle so badly that I really can't do anything. Of course, this guy with his giant freaking sword is about to basically kill Shion. Like, look at this. So he's going in for that, and then boom. Now, that's gonna hurt. Let's be honest. If she's not dead, well, I would be surprised. But luckily, it looks like that sword isn't entirely sharp because she didn't get cut clean in half. She just got, like, banged up on the sides. So she's gonna do a little bit of a crawl to get the stupid rosary off our wrist so we can move. So naturally, I don't know how much that benefits us more over, but I mean, it probably benefits us enough. So she's gonna get the beads off, she's gonna rip them off. And now I'm gonna get up and beat the shit out of Soga, because first off, he hit my girl. And second off, the dude's evil. He wants a dark utopia. He's not even being subtle about it. He won't even call it just a utopia. This isn't even a matter of like good, like perceived good and evil. He's literally putting the word dark in front of Utopia every time he brings up this plan, so it's incredibly deliberately dark. Utopia. He knows it's gonna be this great dark world order. And it's, you know, that's how it is, even though he's got some, like, noble resolve. And of course he's gonna be like, yeah, you don't understand my plight. I'm gonna beat you up with my big sword. So naturally we are gonna fight Soga now, after all that. Now the Soga fight is not unlike any other fight in the game, other than the fact that, first off, Soga's got pretty high health, and second off, Soga's attacks are pretty powerful, and his AI is really good at guarding, though. And look at that parry, like, it's not even like how it should be. Now of course he's gonna conjure up some, like, minions, which are gonna make this fight a little harder. Since I'm alone, I don't have Unison Strip on my side, which you actually would normally. And in normal circumstances, you'd be fighting with a partner, but not in this. I'm actually fighting Soga alone, so I actually have to go in and take him down very solo. Now, luckily, his minions aren't exactly hard, and nor are they necessary to get rid of, but it's nice to just kind of whittle them down, because they're, as you can see, his AI is kind of hiding behind them, and since we can't really get around the machine without going around the sides, he's kind of got a buffer of enemies in between him that is making it a lot harder for me to actually get damage on him. Now, of course, if I beat him up, that would end the fight, like most fights like this, but getting to him without dealing with his minions is a lot harder than it would have to be. So right now, I need to kind of take a strategic advantage and kind of whittle down his numbers so I don't have any risks or going forward here. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and do a parry strip here. I am going to take Soga's cloak off, which is basically almost beating him, but of course his cronies are going to chase me and he's going to kind of stay in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of whittle them down. I'm going to try to take them out as quick as possible so they won't be an issue anymore. I'm going to take that guy out. And of course I got to go for headgear now, so you know how this is going to entail. That failed parry, god, I hate that. Luckily, he's kind of coming in and getting hit by my low attacks, which is like what I want, but he dodged out of the way and my sights were focused on someone else. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to focus down the rest of his enemies. So basically I'm going to have no competition. I'll have no problem dealing with him without any other extraneous forces. Now of course I'm kind of healing for posterity's sake. I don't want to get any closer to losing clothing in this fight than I have to. Luckily, I'm pretty much almost done with his entire squad here. We've got 3 people left. Of course, I'm going to go for this girl immediately, take her out pretty quick, leaving just this guy who only has a vest and that guy who only has headgear, which luckily are not the hardest things to deal with. Soga almost hit me there, which he didn't, thankfully, but that other guy hit me. And with taking that guy's vest out, I decided to go for the headgear here. With the headgear the only thing left, luckily, basically if I take that out, I can just take the rest of them out in one sweep. However, I was having a hard time parrying there. My parry window felt really narrow, unfortunately. And I just went for the strip instead of waiting. And this guy's fist attacks are just really annoying. But luckily, I was able to take him out, leaving only Soga left. So now Soga's only, pants being the only thing standing in the way between me and victory, naturally I'm going to go for a down focus. Unfortunately, I was trying to go in for a hit there. I did not realize his charge attack had so much range. He does a lot of steps, which I did not know about, so I was kind of off guard. But luckily, right there, pretty much just finished it off with no real problems. And that's it for the Soga fight. I could have probably done this a little faster if I had focused on him harder, but he was doing a really good job of hiding behind his, like, cronies there, so I just decided might as well take out the other enemies first. And it wasn't a particularly lengthy fight either, so it's not really a big deal. So now, Soga is done. He is done and done. And he realizes it. He realizes we basically just destroyed him. And he's kind of, well, surprised, because he didn't think that we were that powerful, but then he realized that he didn't realize we upgraded our microphone to, like, max power, so maybe it was a little bit of underestimation on his part, a little bit of hubris that kind of led to this. So yes, he's gonna give us kind of a backhanded compliment here. He's like, yeah, you're pretty strong. Yeah, you're pretty strong. So yes, we won. We won, and we get to steal the machine. Soga is just gonna be like, Yeah, I'm boned, whatever, do whatever. I'm not gonna even complain. I'm not gonna fight. I'm done. Whatever I was trying to fight for is basically not for naught. Bye. I'm gonna do a little bit of a shadow explosion here. So yeah, Soga's gonna get the hell out of here. He's gonna kind of explode here. Yeah, he doesn't really understand what we're using it for, I guess. But naturally, we're just gonna slam that one down. He thinks it's in a way. Soga's kind of going out a little lighthearted. He's you know, there's a little bit of empathy you can give him, so it's all good. But of course, he's got to go vanish into the purple dimension where all the other guys have gone, because he's done. And naturally, that's gonna do it for him. And that's also gonna do it for this episode of Akiba's trip, Undead and Undressed. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will keep watching, and I will see you next time.